Hey there, everybody. Welcome to this review of Grey's Anatomy. This is the mid-season premiere, and I will be honest, I don't know if I have ever been fooled as much by an episode of TV as I was with this one.
Yeah, they did a really good job with the whole is he gonna die? Is he not gonna die? Is he gonna die? Because normally it's, oh no, of course,
Yeah.
nobody major is getting killed off. But that is not the case here, and there are major spoilers ahead, guys.
Wow! DeLuca! No! Okay,
Hi, Humber alumni. I went to Humber too. Canadian.
Yeah.
Gone from the show.
This was one of the saddest things of the entire thing. Like 30 minutes before this episode, we found out that Giacomo, who plays DeLuca, went to Jess's alma mater, and we were so excited about it. We were like, "Oh, he's gonna have a great story. He's got this big." I thought this was just one of the typical Grey's obnoxious Station 19 crossovers that they force upon us, and that was it. Gonna be it.
Yeah, and I went into it feeling a little salty about that because I don't watch Station 19. It's not because it's a bad show or anything. I have other stuff going on, but I was really excited about this DeLuca story from the last time we had Grey's, and it was like, oh, and it all played out on this other show that I don't watch.
It was frustrating because it was like
Wah.
those were, I guess,
For me.
really. Those were the last moments of like DeLuca as like a living character,
I
kind of
know.
out running and doing stuff. We're gonna talk about Grey's doing this, how much they played me like a fiddle. I will take so many L's in this video, but before we dive into all of our heartbreak, sadness, and despair, if you guys do like this video, subscribe. We will be here with you through the rest of Grey's if we can collect ourselves emotionally after what we have just been through.
Yeah, so for sure, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss anything. We will be here all season.
Okay, here's how bad they got me. They had this end scene, because they had been showing DeLuca at the beach through
Yep.
all of this. And we
Yep.
all kind of know, okay, the beach is like sort of the end between the living and the dead for
Yes, it
Meredith.
is.
We saw DeLuca running towards his mom, and I was just like, okay, here's what's gonna happen. He's running, and then he's gonna like disappear into a puff of smoke. He's gonna like hop into an invisible TARDIS from Doctor Who and magically turn out on the other side alive and okay.
I was really worried when he was standing there having that talk with Meredith and pouring out his heart and sort of saying, I feel like I have found myself now. I feel like I know who I am. I can sort of be this better person, this better friend in your life, this better just in your life type person. As soon as he started saying those things, I'm like, oh no, this feels like he is saying goodbye, that this is his final farewell, and they start running down that beach. I was like, oh no, if he hugs his mom, it's over. It is over. He is dead. Because we have been on this beach already with Meredith. So Derek at the end of the beach, she is unable to get to him. I was like, oh no, please no. And then they hugged. I was like, oh.
Ding!
Here we
Oh, hold
are.
on. There's a fresh L in the oven I need to take out for myself here because you know what my response was to that scene at the beach with Meredith and DeLuca. I was just like, bah, this is nothing. I was like, okay, this is what's happening. He's like saying this stuff to Meredith because in case she doesn't come back, he wants to have like that element of closure with her. He feels like he's poured out his heart and then he's gonna be okay.
Or in case he doesn't come
Yeah,
back.
see, I
He's gotta
dismissed that entirely.
I see. No, I started to get real worried at that
Yeah.
scene that he was not coming back.
No, I was confident. I
You
was
were
feeling
confident.
I was feeling it the entire episode. I was just like, all right.
Yeah, and then they went back to the surgery room and they're like, oh, this has been going on for 40 minutes. I'm like, this has been going on for 40 minutes.
I think that was when I was officially like, oh, this may not actually work out anymore. I think once I heard the 40 minutes, I was just like, oh, please. And then this really made me sad, honestly. Like, I loved DeLuca so much as a character. I loved his sort of progression over the years.
I really liked his progression over the years. I thought he is a really interesting character, and it's nice to grow with a character like him. And, yeah, he's had a harder time the past year or two, but, oh, man, I'm really going to miss him from the show. I know not everybody enjoys DeLuca, but there are some of us out there that really do, and I'm one of those people.
I went from not liking him at all when he was like going at Alex after what Alex did to him and all that. And then like the stuff with Meredith and him started coming along, and I was like, all right, I see this. I kind of get behind it. And then I felt for him when nobody was believing him, that he like, we went through that period of time where we thought maybe he was leaving when he like took that motorcycle trip and just like vanished for weeks and we didn't know what happened.
Yeah, I was a bit worried for him then as well. And then, you know, his sister gave that story about the roller skates and was like, please don't leave me. Don't ever do this again. There was some 1 minute there when he saw his mom down the beach. I thought he was going to remember that conversation with his sister and turn away from his mom and be like, I will see you, but just not yet.
This is the one part of this I'm struggling with, is that I don't know what the point is of killing off DeLuca at this point, because Meredith has already lost Derek. She's already lost, like, this huge important figure in her life. We've also already seen plenty of other characters being killed off. Is this a situation where they're like, oh, we're not going to take Meredith because of the virus, and we've got... over here, Karassik's doing better. Oh, we're going to lose somebody, but it's going to be in the way you least expect?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's possible that they just didn't have more story to tell with him. If they are planning to move Meredith with Cormac and go in that direction, then maybe they were in a situation where they just felt that there was no more story to tell. They would have him go out as this hero and a man that has sort of discovered who he really is, which is the saddest part. You know, he's just done this heroic thing. He's feeling good about himself. He's in a good place with his mental health. And then it's like, oh, you're at the best place you could be. Let's kill him.
I don't know. You know, we're recording this like immediately after watching the episode. Maybe there'll be some postmortems out there that add context. Maybe the actor wanted to move on to other things. It's like, it's hard to know all this stuff in this situation.
Or maybe in the next episode, his heart will just start beating again.
Welcome to Denial, where I was the entire episode thinking he was going to live.
Yeah.
This was hard, and it is a situation where, you know, we'll give you guys some real talk. We were like halfway through this episode, and there wasn't really a lot going on, and we were just like, what are we going to talk about? Like, what's the top story here?
Yeah, there really was a good period of this whole episode that we didn't know what we were going to come on here and talk about. I mean, there are some other stories that's going on, and, you know, like what's going on with Joe, and now Luna is by herself, and they've been sort of setting up that she maybe is going to be adopting somebody or bringing somebody in or having a baby. I mean, this could be her baby. But the same thing, I was just kind of like, okay, you know, this is a story that has been kind of threading along already.
I think they're probably going in that direction with Joe. It's just they lingered on that baby for a long time when it was in the incubator and Joe was sort of looking at it. Like, they might as well have just like put in post-production like these lights that were coming down on this baby from the heavens and being like, take this baby. Like, it felt like we were going in that direction here.
Yeah, they may well just wrap that baby up and send it home with Joe.
Yeah, who knows, though? Given how wrong I was about DeLuca for the entire episode, I might... Maybe my read on some stuff is a little bit off here. I'm not entirely sure. I'm just still discombobulated, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I just... they surprised me. I really didn't think that they were going to kill him off. However, now that I am sort of thinking about it, and I'm thinking about... well, what would be the next story then to tell? It was sort of the same feeling I had with Tom, too, when he had first gotten the virus. I was like, okay, well, he is kind of at a natural end for the rest of the story that's going on because everything had been cleared up sort of with Teddy, with Owen, with that whole thing. So where is he going next? And that's why I thought he was going to be the person that was leaving the show.
All of this kind of threads into the idea of, we don't know if this is the last season of Grey's or not. Usually at this point we have like some inkling or whatever, but Krista Vernoff, the showrunner, she told the Hollywood Reporter recently that they're kind of writing the end of this season to be either a season finale or a series finale because they don't actually really know what they're going to do yet. Maybe we're getting closure on a lot of different things.
Maybe.
I'm just going to throw this out there right now. I know we just lost DeLuca. I know we're all sitting in this pit of sadness for a minute here, but while we're all in here, I'm not going to throw more sadness. We're not drowning in sadness here. I'm not going to tell you guys this is the last season of Grey's because if this show announces like 3 weeks before the finale that this is the series finale and this is an institution, I will be legitimately mad. Like, it needs a full, proper final season so that we can emotionally prepare ourselves.
I agree. After this many seasons, it deserves to have a final season that we all go into knowing it's the final season. I mean, this has been a good season, but it has been a very dark, very difficult season. And so if this is the last season of this show, I mean, that's going to be kind of tough. And I know they are bringing back lots of people from the past with everything that's going on with Meredith, but it doesn't feel like a final season. It feels kind of like a season that we're all here for, trying to get on the other side of. Just this is the same with the pandemic, where it's all this really dark stuff happening, and some of that light and fun that comes out of Grey's is just unable to be here this season.
Like, I'm trying to sit here and think, okay, what were some of the happy stories this week? Because obviously DeLuca is seemingly dead. Everybody hates Teddy except for Karasik. That's not really that pleasant.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time with Teddy's storyline of sort of believing that she, at this point, listen, I get everybody's mad at her, and then people that weren't even involved are mad at her, and she's mad at herself, but you can see that she's not being treated very well at her job, and I understand people being personally mad at her, but she is working here. This isn't everybody in the hospital is in her life personally. And listen, I understand what happened with that recording,
yes,
and that her personal life came into the hospital. But it can't be that she's just getting, like, shunned and nobody wants to work with her. Like, there's got to be a stop to it at some point to separate what happened and that this is still a place of work. And I'm kind of wondering how long Teddy is going to stay at this job, because if it was me, I would be probably looking to get out of here at that point. There's only so much people can take.
Let me put this is the analogy I have for a lot of this season. Let's say we're putting on a pot of water to boil. Mm-hmm. It's like at a certain point the water gets boiling and you want to be able to go in, make your tea, make your hot chocolate, or do whatever else.
Except now we have a kettle.
Okay, well, let's say we have
an awesome kettle that you can actually see over at our Instagram, Matt and Jess TV.
Okay.
It is the coolest
kettle. It is
kettle.
Cool. It is, okay.
It looks like a rocket.
It does look like a rocket.
From
let's
the
say
50s.
We've got a rocket from the 50s. It's
that boils water.
It's boiling some water. It's warm. We want to come out and get our tea out of our kettle, which is great. But let's just say that stays on and the water keeps boiling and boiling and it never turns off. Eventually there's not any water anymore. They have let these stories boil too long. There's not any tea. There's no way we can actually enjoy the boiled water now.
No, it's true. I appreciate that they're giving it this real world feel. Yeah. Obviously, Owen is going to continue to be upset, and people who are close to Owen are also going to continue to be upset. But it feels like the whole hospital is just continuously not forgiving and not moving on, or at the very least, not treating her with respect at the job.
I will say here my favorite funny moment from this episode. There's not very many of them, so I have to enjoy whatever I have. And let's go to Jackson here, because Jackson has annoyed me a lot over the past couple of seasons, but there was something very, just hilarious about him after Link spills that Jackson's Maggie's accent for Winston, and then he's just like, I'm going to get another drink, and he just like moves on out of the, what are the odds that Jackson never actually went back into the backyard?
I would just walk right at the front door.
Like, I wish they had actually had a lingering shot of Jackson just walking through the rest of the house, getting in his car and driving off.
Or like a wide shot of that backyard and you can see at the fence, you could just see him running by and leaving.
See, Jackson, you have done things before that involve getting away from everyone and not coming back. Like,
yep.
This would have actually been an acceptable time for you to do this, and we wouldn't have been mad. This is the problem, though. Same for Jackson. Like, where else is the joy in this episode? Joe maybe adopting, but that baby's mother died, so it can't really be joyful about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's Grey's Anatomy, so I expect it to be some tragedy. There always is. But it feels this season a lot like it is just darkness after darkness after darkness. And I understand that they are focusing on the pandemic, and that is what the pandemic has been like.
Yeah.
However, now feels like the time to start moving past that. Vaccinations are coming out in life. Vaccinations can start showing up on the show. I mean, it's happening. So why not start to just integrate it into the show?
We'll see where things go from here. I'm sure DeLuca's death is going to cast at least like a fairly wide shadow. That's something we'll probably see play out on this show and Station 19 alike. But we've reached the end of, this just delve into sadness with DeLuca's death. And
I can't believe it.
Okay, we're going to collect ourselves, but what did you guys think? Are you shocked? Are you heartbroken? Give us all your quick thoughts, reactions, and if you guys did enjoy this video, subscribe, give us a like. You can support us further as well by checking the link in the description to the store. We will see you here next time.